Welcome to the show that takes up no more than 5 minutes of your time, but could help you gain massive real estate knowledge. It's 5 Minutes in Real Estate with best-selling author Shane Willis.
Hello, Shane Willis, Pensacola real estate expert, bringing you today's episode. Today, it's a little bit of a shaky one here. I'm sitting here early afternoon watching the stock market go down. I watched the Dow bottom out at 1,600 points lower at 1 minute. It's up some from then, but looks like we're going to close with the largest point drop ever in the Dow's history. So that's a historical moment that we're witnessing right now, and it's to the bears. It's to the downside. Now, I'm not going to get too technical, but I think, in my opinion, a lot of what's happened today has been all in technical trades. Again, I'm not going to try and get too technical, but basically, if you sold something or you owned something at $100 a share, we'll use easy math and say that you're willing to risk it down to 95. Well, there's a way to set up the computer to hit sell if it hits 95 so that you are limiting your risk. That's part of hedging. It is a strategy of hedging your market. I don't like that strategy. I use options to hedge, but that is a strategy that a lot of people use. So if you've got that stop loss there, and we have something like today happens, there's a lot of people that are selling that are going to be kicking themselves. They probably wasn't even paying attention to it. It is a good strategy to hedge. I'm a big buy and hedge guy. I have done well with Apple as my hedge lately. But anyways, let's say that happens. So now that stock goes from 100 to 95 and triggers a sale. Now, this is before the person even realizes it went to 95 because they're off doing their business. They're off, performing surgery or, serving the pizzas at their restaurant or whatever they do day to day. They're not even really paying attention to the stock market every day. So they just put that in there as an order. If it gets there, that's all I'm willing to risk, so sell. So thousands of people did that. So now all of a sudden, if you get a sell order and a flood of sell orders, well, the stock continues to fall. And if it falls more, then additional triggers are going to get hit. So the one that was at 95 might sell now at 93 because it's just trying to get out. And now that we're at 93, the 92.50 people could be looking and they could get triggered and we could just fall. And it just free falls down quite a bit. But in the middle of all this, all I hear on the news channels are mortgage rates are going to rise. I'm sitting here going, the Dow's falling 1,600 points and you guys want to talk about mortgage rates. But it is true. Now, when rates rise, historically, the stock market will actually rise with it. So it may be about that time for rates to rise so that things can calm down, so that the banking industry can get back to a little bit more profitability, not just from the tax cuts that this administration give them, but actually a little more profitability. We need that to happen in order to calm all this down. I honestly think by the middle of next week that most of this will be back, if not all of it. I think this is just a technical trade because I don't see anything fundamentally wrong with the economy or fundamentally wrong with a lot of these stocks. I mean, I'm floored why Apple is dropping in price when their PE ratio is just getting better and better with every drop. But whatever, I'll probably just buy some more. And I know there's a ton of other stocks that way. Disney's that way. I mean, heck, how many Marvel movies do we have coming out soon? Along with Star Wars and, yeah, okay. These are fundamental companies that aren't going anywhere. And I don't see those fundamentals changing anytime soon. So this has got to be a technical crash. But it does bring up a point of where are our mortgage rates going to go? And so today I wanted to talk about that just briefly because I got a Freddie Mac 30-year fix, they actually came out with what, and I'll put the link to where this came, the housing market outlet. I'll actually put the link. If you're getting the tips and tricks, you're going to get a link, and you're also going to get this graph that talks about the mortgage rates from Freddie Mac over the 30-year fixed, what they're expecting in 2018. In Q1, where we are right now, they're expecting rates to be 4.1. Now, as we sit now, they're not, but they're creeping up very easily. I think that, next week, especially if this thing starts to correct a little better, I think next week we may actually see this. You also have the new Fed chair in. I'm sure he's going to be raising some rates just to prove his point. Q2, they're looking at 4.4. Q3, 4.6. Q4, 4.9. Which means, as we sit here in February of 2018, there is a very real possibility that when I'm having this conversation in December of 2018, we're talking about 5% interest rates. How does that affect you as a buyer? That is going to start to lower the amount of property you can purchase. The higher interest rate raises your payment, and your debt-to-income ratio is only going to take you so far. And I don't ever like people maxing out the debt-to-income ratio anyways, but we'll talk about that on another episode. So it's going to start to limit. You're going to not be able to get everything you're looking for when you're at 5 as opposed to being at 4. How does that affect a seller? Well, if you've got a property that sits in a higher limit, it may stagnate your appreciation. Not that the value that is appreciating is not there. It's the lack of buyers' ability to buy it. So, could we potentially see a lower raise of appreciation? Absolutely. We could. And I know that this is kind of a bear day, so I'm trying not to get caught up in all that euphoria, but or confusion, or there's some people running around with like chickens with their heads cut off right now. Mortgage rates are going to rise. Mortgage rates rising affects both the buyer and sellers of real estate. Period. The end. I could have just said that. I just came on, said that, podcast episode would have been over. But it's a historic day right now. So I need to talk a little bit about that too. Listen, that's all I got for you today. I got to get back to this other stuff. If you have not signed up to get our tips, tricks, graphs, infographics, all the stuff we send out with these podcasts, get over to 5minutesinrealestate.com. That's 5minutesinrealestate.com. Also, if you have not subscribed to the podcast via iTunes or Google Play, get over to either one of those. You can search 5 Minutes in Real Estate, or you can search my name, Shane Willis. You should be able to find it there. And finally, if you found any value in this episode or any other episode that you've listened to, I ask that you share it on social media. Thanks for listening. Have a good one.